Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Embodiment podcast. I have a very special guest today. Her name is Steph, and we are talking about feminine embodiment. Now, if you don't know what this is, you are seriously going to want to tune in and listen to the whole episode because this shit is going to change your life. So, without further ado, Steph, how about you introduce yourself?
Awesome. Thank you for having me, Amber. Can't wait to dive into this conversation. So, my name is Steph Morris. I am a feminine embodiment coach. I live in Toronto and I am obsessed with the work I do because it changed my life, simply put. I fell into becoming a coach just through my own personal transformation journey. I needed to make some changes. I was burnt out, had no social life. My relationship was struggling and I just was lacking purpose and feeling a little bit insecure and kind of questioning what is the point of my life? Like, what am I really here to do? So I wanted to go on this journey of exploration of myself to discover who I really am and what I want to do in this world. And that's what led me to discover embodiment, to discover masculine and feminine energies, to discover that I was living in my mind and I was missing out on so much of my power as a human being. So yeah, I explored and found embodiment, hired a coach, and literally my whole world changed. And I felt differently. I started to show up differently. My relationship completely transformed as a result. And I literally was like oh my God kind of moment. I need to share this because this is crazy in the best way possible. I have to learn how to do this and share it with other women because it's completely shifted my world. So that's the quick version of the story of who I am, what I do, and how I fell into this, and just why I'm so passionate about this work.
Wow, I love that so much. And, a lot of people don't actually know what feminine embodiment is. So, can you kind of give us a little bit of an introduction on what it is? Is it only for women? Is it for men as well? Like, kind of just give us some information about this.
Great question. So, embodiment is essentially inhabiting our whole self. So, as human beings, we have our physical body, we have our mental body, we have emotional body, and an energetic body. And embodiment is about living in that full capacity as our authentic selves. Whereas a lot of people in society are living from the head up. They're living in their mind. They're only operating from that capacity and they're disconnected from their physical, their emotional, and energetic self. So embodiment is just about getting into and in being all of you. So embodiment is for everybody. Embodiment, it doesn't matter. For humans is basically what it's for. And then the feminine element, feminine has nothing to do with gender. Most women are predominantly maybe more feminine, embody more of the feminine, but everybody has a masculine and feminine within them. And it's really important that we harness both and become in this beautiful balance with both. We do need both. Every man needs both, and every woman needs both. So the feminine element is really the feeling and the being and the being love, receptive, flowing, evolving, ever changing, and being connected to our intuition. So the feminine is like the creativity and the nurturing and those sorts of things, whereas masculine is more concerned with drive, purpose, vision, like let's go, let's penetrate, let's move forward, that sort of thing. So that's why it's so important. And in society, masculine tendencies are more celebrated. If you look at the corporate world, you don't see people being like, I'm making this decision based on my intuition and it feels good. And, that's just not really a thing. So that's why a lot of people are kind of out of balance with their masculine and feminine. But it's really important for men as well to be connected to their feminine, because being connected to their feminine energy means they're in touch with their emotions. They are know how to process them in a healthy way. They are connected to their intuition and can empathize and tap into other people as well. So it's really beautiful. It's really, really beautiful. And just for people to understand what they are and then embody them to then create that balance, being in both. And it's just really, really magical when we can get to that point.
I love that. And for those of you who are listening, I created an episode, I think it's like episode number 4, where we really dive into, what is the masculine and feminine energy. So if you want information about that, I really recommend going back and listening to the other episode. But I really love how you are really saying that, like, it is so important for both men and women to have a balance between both energies. And as you said, in today's society, I feel like a lot of people are operating from their masculine, myself included. For you guys listening, this is always something I try to be very conscious of, is making sure that I'm in balance and that I'm not too much in my masculine, not too much go, 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 trying to check off the things off my to-do list, but also being in the present moment, being in the flow, enjoying where you are, receiving all of the love and all of the things that you can receive as well. So yes, it is so important to really have that balance between both. And today we are really going to talk about, how you can implement this into your life, how you can really create a life of balance, how you can really tap into your feminine energy and create, daily practices or daily rituals to help you nurture that balance. So I would love to hear maybe what ways do you like to balance your feminine and masculine energies?
Such a great question. There are so many practices and things that you can do and all of that kind of stuff, but it's really about being. So a really simple way is to create more space in your day where you are just checking in with yourself and asking yourself, how am I feeling? Like, how do I feel emotionally? How do I feel physically? Checking in, even if it means setting a reminder on your phone or in your calendar to just ask yourself, how do I actually feel? And then what do I feel like doing next? What does my body need? So it's really starting to tap into your body. And that's everybody can do that. However busy you are, you can make a few times a day, a few minutes each time to check in with yourself and just question. And then also the feminine is all around pleasure. So how can you create rituals or things that you're already doing? How can you create an experience out of that and experience them in a different way? So I love the example of, if most people drink coffee, most people make coffee first thing in the morning. So rather than being on autopilot to just make the coffee and then chug it back to get the caffeine fix, how can you slow down and really experience through your senses? So listening to the coffee dripping into the mug, can you smell the coffee? What do the coffee beans smell like? Or the pod, is it, is going into your mug, and then feeling the warmth of the coffee in the mug, feeling it on your hands, and then what does it taste like? So really engaging all of your senses in everything that you're doing. And that's just one example that most people already have that as part of their daily routine. So trying to experience it in a different way, or going for a walk. And instead of rushing around, I used to just be in such a rush to get everywhere. Like, couldn't have 2 minutes to stop at traffic lights. I would be like the jaywalker trying to cross the street. And I just started to question, like, if I don't have time to stop at a traffic light to observe like the world around me, then I'm just doing life wrong, because this is not what it's about. So really becoming curious and starting to question why you do things that you do, and then asking yourself, how can I slow down? How can I bring more presence to driving a car? How can I, bring more presence to going on a walk and making the commitment to look around me, to see the beauty and to experience this walk that I do every day in a different way? So those are some super, super simple things. There are amazing practices that I love, like breath work, which is amazing to get into the body, and dance, or an intuitive movement practice. But those sorts of things can be harder to stick with if you're more in your masculine, and if you're more living in your mind as well, because the mind takes over and is like, this is boring, this is pointless, I don't want to do it, I'm not going to bother. So we can kind of talk ourselves out of it. Whereas starting to look at your day and really question, like, why do I have such a full day, or why do I structure it this way? Curiosity and asking yourself why is just so powerful to bring develop more self-awareness, and then start to make shifts, because maybe you're just doing things on autopilot and you don't actually want to be doing it that way, or it doesn't feel good to do it that way, but you haven't questioned it, because most people don't question why they do things that they do. So those are things, like really tangible ways to just start to question and look and make small shifts. But really coming back to getting into your body, feeling, experiencing, and tapping into your senses.
And I really, really love how you said, it's not really about doing, but it's about being because, so often, I see on social media, oh, here are ways to, tap more into your feminine energy. There's journaling, there's dancing, there's so many things you can do. But I feel like a lot of people are chugging more things on their to-do list. Oh, I've got to journal. I have to do my meditation. I have to do this. When really it's just about slowing down. It's just about realizing, what does my body need right now? Do I need to rest? Do I need to go outside and get some fresh air? Do I need to eat something? Do I need some water? Do I need to just relax my mind? Like that's such a better approach to it, of really seeing, what do I need right now? And as you said, a really simple way to do that is to really see, okay, how can I be more present in my own life? And I love that so much, because it doesn't mean you have to add more things to your busy life. You don't have to do more in order to be in your feminine, but it's how can you be more present in order to enjoy your life even more. So thank you for those examples. I'm definitely going to try the coffee one and really just, ignite all your senses and really just be in that moment. I think that's such an amazing tip.
Yeah, and it's really interesting too because, like you said, people can then create a to-do list and, like, oh, here are my embodiment practices, here are my feminine practices I must do, but they're still approaching it from this kind of disembodied way and from this masculine, like, let's tick it off the to-do list. I mean, I have done that. I used to do that. I used to, like, meditation is on the to-do list. Breath work is on the to-do list. It's like it kind of defeats the whole purpose of it. So it's really just and something I actually love to do as well is you can create the balance by creating yourself a container. So creating a masculine container. So for instance, I have a certain time of my day in the morning where I have my morning routine, and I put it in Google Calendar because everything has to be my Google Calendar. I love the structure, but it's a container that I create for morning routine. It's not prescriptive. So I then will in the morning, okay, 6 till 7 or 7 till 8, whatever it is that day is morning routine. And then I'll check in with myself and say, what do I actually feel like doing today? Maybe today I feel like doing an energizing breath work and then some journaling. Or maybe today it's more of a dance movement practice and then like laying down and doing some stretches. Like there are so many, I do have a list of ideas that I started with when I first started out with this just to kind of inspire me. But then it was really just checking in on that day. And then I'll go through phases where I don't journal for a month or I'm not doing, whatever else it is for a month. And that's okay. Like we don't have to do all of the things at one time. It's just tapping in, slowing down and really checking in and letting your body lead you because your body knows what it needs. It is so wise. There is so much wisdom that is stored within our bodies. And they're sending us signals. The body is sending us signals all the time, but most people aren't hearing those. And that's why it can lead to burnout or feeling really stressed out and having a lot of anxieties because we're not hearing the signals that our body is trying to send us. So any way that you can just be more, that you can do less and try to tap in more to your body to strengthen that connection, that is life-changing in itself because you will never reach burnout if you're listening to your body. And I know, I mean, I've ended up in hospital before from not listening to my body from extreme burnout. And that will never happen again. I would never let it get to that point because you just make that commitment. I'm going to tap in, I'm going to strengthen the connection with my body, and I'm going to listen to what it needs and what it's trying to tell me.
So I feel like so many of us are, for one, we're not trained about how to listen to our bodies. So I have two questions. Number one is, what are some of the signs that your body gives you? How can we, like, what kind of things does your body signal to you to let you know that you need to slow down? And then what kind of practices can you do to really strengthen that connection with understanding and listening to what your body is telling you?
Great questions. Well, the first thing, if you want to strengthen the connection with your body, set the intention. You don't need to know how, you just need to have the intention and know why. I want to connect with my body because I never want to feel burnout again, or I want to connect to my body because I want to get to know myself more, which was the intention that I set. You don't need to have the roadmap. You just need to trust that the path will unfold perfectly for you if you have that clear intention and you actually like write it on your mirror, write it in a journal, set yourself a reminder so that you'll have that in your awareness and the path will unfold. But a beautiful place to start is breath work. Breath work everybody should do breath work, in my opinion, because it gets you into your body and it gives your mind a job to do by focusing on your inhale and your exhale. So you can kind of keep the mind busy whilst you're getting into your body, whilst you're feeling your sensations. And how can you listen to your body? Well, everybody's connection to their body is going to feel a little bit different, and everyone's going to experience it in different ways because we are such different people. But the more through breath work, you start to become aware of the subtle sensations in your body. So maybe you're breathing and you can start to really feel your heartbeat, or you can start to notice from being in your body, from focusing on your breath, you can feel tension in your shoulders or tightness. And that's perfect. Like, that's okay. We're not trying to eliminate any of those things. It's just becoming aware and then thinking, oh, actually, maybe my shoulders are tight because I've been slouching all day, and bringing awareness around that. So I think through like the different, if you feel tired, listen to that. That's for a reason. It's not like, oh, I'm just going to push through it. Like, just commit and listen. Otherwise, that's how you can reach these burnout and exhaustion. But it's going to look different. But I will just say that your mind is like kind of screaming to you, and it's so loud, and the signals from the body can feel more subtle, which is why you're not hearing them. And hence why it's important to strengthen that connection so that you can close your eyes and just put your hand on your heart and just feel your breath. And within a few minutes, start to notice, like, there's a pit in my stomach, or there's tightness in my shoulders, or whatever it is. And once you notice that, you can then check in with your body and ask, what does my body need today? And asking your body, it can feel weird at first to be like, body, what do you need? Because you're like, how does it know? But it does know. And with time, over a few days, weeks, months, you'll start to just intuitively know, my body needs a stretch, or my body needs more water, I'm feeling dehydrated. Just slowing down and checking in. But yeah, breath work is such a beautiful practice to incorporate daily. And it's not for the 5 or 10 minutes you're doing it, it's for the compound effect that you have when your eyes are open and when you're moving about the day, being able to manage your emotional state in a more healthy, productive way, being more tapped into your intuition, and just feeling that calm and inner peace and groundedness is so beautiful. I've never experienced that from anything else apart from breath work.
For those of us who are listening who don't really know, like, what is the difference between meditation and breath work? Like, is it the same thing? Are they different?
That's a great question. So breath work is sort of manipulating your breath in certain patterns to get more deeper into your body, whereas meditation is more working with your mind and the different waves, or whatever they're called. I'm not the meditation expert, so I can't remember the technical term, but you can reach those different wavelength states. So they're kind of one and the same in a way, but breath work is specifically manipulating your breath. So you can do like breath of fire or box breath, or you can be breathing through your mouth or breathing through your nose. There are specific patterns that you do and you're focusing purely on your breath. So you have a job to do essentially. Whereas meditation is more, you're either being guided or you're laying there and kind of just allowing your subconscious to take you on this journey. Whereas breath work is really about being in the body. But obviously with meditation, there are cues to like focus on your breath and that sort of thing. But I used to struggle with meditation. So what I would do is do breath work beforehand, where I'm focusing on my breathing, focusing on the inhale and the exhale, and doing these different patterns, and then go into a meditation, whether that's a guided meditation or a silent meditation where I'm just in silence and allowing myself to go on this journey. But that has made my meditations go so much deeper, because I've already worked through the monkey mind going through the breath work, and then the meditation can go to like different realms altogether. So it's really freaking cool. They're a very, very powerful combination to do together.
I love that. And I know there's a lot of people who are like, meditation is so hard. I can't get my mind to shut the fuck up. So I also love breath work because, like you said, it really gives you something to focus on where your mind, I don't even feel my mind when I'm doing breath work. I really just am completely in tune with your body. And as you said, it is so freaking transformative. So yes, if you guys have never done breath work, Steph, do you have like any breathwork videos? If people want to do breathwork with you, is there a way that they can do
Yeah,
that?
definitely. I have a bunch of freebies and resources I love creating. So if you're interested, you can send me a DM on Instagram or just message me and I'll happily send you some links of practices that I've created. And one of my favorite ones that I share with people is equal ratio breathing or box breath. And why I love this is because it activates the parasympathetic nervous system. So you're literally signaling to your brain, to your body, that it's safe to relax, that it's okay, that you can get out of that fight or flight system. And this is where you can start to see the difference between breath work and meditation, because breath work is in the body, it's calming down your whole system and your whole state, which everybody wants to feel calm. I mean, I think everybody can say to feel that like inner calm and peace and silence and present is like most people's ultimate desired state, and breath work can get you there. So it's so powerful and also helpful to process your emotions and situations, and just connect more deeply to yourself and your truth and whatever it is that you're feeling.
I love that. And I will share all of her social media links in the description. So, y'all, seriously, send her a DM, check it out, try breathwork if you've never done it before. It will change your life. So, do you have any last tips or words of wisdom for people who want to incorporate these feminine embodiment practices into their lives and really create habits and rituals out of them?
Yeah, definitely. The best place to start, and I love sharing this with people, is just become really curious with yourself. Set an intention and get clear on your why. So maybe you want to connect more deeply with yourself, or maybe you'd love to feel more calm. Get clear on your desired feeling and then set an intention and become curious. So become a researcher into yourself. Ask yourself why. Question everything that you're doing, and you'll notice how your self-awareness starts to increase. And then you can start to notice, is this fear talking, is this ego, or is this my truth? Because self-awareness is everything, and that's ultimately what these practices can help you do, is develop more self-awareness, get curious, and then you know that you're going to be creating a life that's in alignment with you and connected to your truth and who you authentically are, which I think everybody can say that's what they want. So become a researcher into yourself, start to ask yourself why and question and reflect, and just create more space in your day. And whether that's just to check in with yourself, whether that's to do breath work, maybe that's just putting your phone down and closing your eyes and just being present for 3 minutes and putting a timer on. Create more space and commit to yourself, because everybody knows that your relationship with yourself determines the relationship you have with others. How happy you'll feel, how fulfilled you'll feel. The relationship you have with yourself is the most important thing on that exists. It's so important. So commit to yourself, commit that you're going to go there, that you're going to get deeper. Because even if you think, oh, I've done all the work, I've done mindset, I've done personal development for years, which is how I used to feel, there's always more depth to explore. There's always more layers to peel back. So however much work you think you've done in yourself, be willing to explore more. And if you've not incorporated the body, and if you've not gone into embodiment yet, then just trust that there is so much there to be discovered, and it's so beautiful and amazing, and you can feel so much ease when you're living in your body. So those would be my final few pieces. Aside from commit to yourself, I'm going to challenge you to practice for 5 minutes a day, either checking in with yourself, breath work, 5 minutes a day for the next 7 days, and see how you feel. And if you don't feel different, then let me know, because I'd love to hear. But I can pretty much guarantee that if you were to do breath work every day for 7 days, you'd notice some shifts in your energy. So that would be my final words of wisdom there.
Thank you so much for sharing that. And I would just like to add to everyone, you don't have to start off with an hour a day, right? Start small. Even, the simple drive to going, your drive going to work, or your drive picking your kids up from school. be present, start with what you have and build upon that. And you're going to see that that's how you're going to make the most lasting and effective changes. So thank you so much, Steph, for being here. It was amazing to connect with you. I will add all of your social media links to the description on our blog as well. But just for people who are listening, what is your Instagram so that if they want to reach out to you, they can find you?
Yes, my Instagram is I am Steph Morris. I love hanging out there. I love having conversations. So I'd love to connect and hear how you've enjoyed today. And if you are interested in breathwork practice or any of these amazing things, just let me know. So thank you so much for having me, Amber. I've loved this conversation.
Yes, thank you so much for being here. And of course, thank you, all of you who are listening, for tuning in to the Embody Me podcast. Feel free to send me a DM at Amber the Yogi or embodime.live on Instagram and let me know how you enjoyed this episode.